Greetings everyone, you are watching Backstage TV and I am here with Eicca from Apocalyptica. Hey Eicca, thanks for joining us.
Hello, my pleasure.
How are you today?
Very good, very good. Excited to be back in Czech.
Yes.
And very much looking forward to the show. It's gonna be exciting.
What can we expect from you guys tonight?
Of course, always an excellent show. You know, kind of we are on the Cell Zero tour in a way, even the album came out already 3 years ago, but because of all the postponements and stuff. But of course, it's not only about the new album. It's a good combination of music from all eras of Apocalyptica. There's a little bit Metallica, a little bit Cell Zero stuff, a little bit other instrumentals, a little bit vocal stuff. Frankie Perez is with us on vocals. So
you have a singer.
Yeah, we have. Perfect. So there will be songs like Shadowmaker, I Don't Care, you know, I'm Not Cheese, that kind of stuff. So it's a good combination of everything.
Perfect, best of. Yes.
Yeah.
You tour a lot. Do you feel the difference between the audience, you know, in the different countries, or you know, USA and Europe? Something like that.
Sometimes a little bit, but not very much. I think Apocalyptica audience nowadays seems to be kind of a little bit similar combination in different countries. Sometimes we have shows that it's 90% are male, and which is not usually the case, and that affects. And sometimes the age of the audience differs. Sometimes in some countries the audience is kind of average is older. But I think the bigger difference on what kind of audience we have, it's more about the venue where we play. Like when we played on the place Metallica anniversary tour, we played the concert halls and city venues, so that was a very different kind of combination of audience than what we have, for example, tonight. But we are very lucky to have great audiences everywhere. So.
Perfect. Yes. You have been to Czech Republic many times. Do you have any special memories with Czech Republic?
Oh, there were plenty of great memories, because we started to play in Czech Republic very early in the end of '90s, and we've done so many shows that it's impossible to even remember individuals. You know, great festivals, great open air shows, different cities, Zlín, Brno. And a lot, of course, in Prague, and it's been always great. And I remember that one of the first gold records what we got was from Czech, you know, for Cult and other albums. So Czech has been always very special for us.
It's cool. Yes. What's the first thing that comes to your mind about Czech Republic in general?
It's beer.
Yes.
Of course.
Classic, yes.
I couldn't help it. I don't think that's a boring answer, but yeah, to be honest, that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
90% of answers are always the beer, and I guess we are good at beer. Yes,
but also beautiful landscape and super lovely, warm-hearted people.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. Do you have anything new in Apocalyptica? Some new music on the way?
There's always new music. We already, years ago, when we were planning, when we were preparing for a Cell Zero album, we kind of realized that this modern streaming world gives us a possibility to do different things at the same time. That's why we made the Cell Zero fully instrumental album, because we knew that we like to do vocal collaborations as well, but we don't need to squeeze everything in the same package. So that's why we've been releasing constantly just individual songs. Like since Cell Zero, we released White Room with Jacobi Shaddix. We released Talk to Me. We did the classical EP of Ravel Bolero and stuff, and now the latest release is the Rise Again with Simon Simons.
Yes, of course.
And we are working on the other vocal song now with the European female singer. Hopefully, will come out in summer, and then we also start to record a new album in May. It will be out sometime late next year, because we are constantly on tour. So we are doing the album in between the tours in a couple of different periods, and I can't reveal the concept yet, but it's gonna be a concept album, and it's gonna be interesting, and it's been exciting to kind of prepare the material for it. But we are we're constantly, like, let's say there is 4 releases every year.
Perfect. Yeah. How does the songwriting looks like in Apocalyptica? Who is the main songwriter, or how does it look like? You know.
I've written most of our original music, and Perttu has done quite a lot, and Mikko has done few great songs as well. So it differs a little bit. I've done a lot of co-writings, especially when we're working on songs for vocals. That I've been teaming up with some really good songwriters, you know, like good top liners and stuff, to get the best results out of the music written. And usually when we do original music, it's pretty much that whoever writes the music is doing it pretty far. Of course, we do the final arrangement together, and we kind of tweak and stuff. But it's a pretty independent process. But now, for example, when we've been working on some arrangements and that kind of stuff, then that's something that we operate usually more as a band, you know, together. So it varies. There's no general rule how to do things, and that's actually the thing that we want to break the rules all the time, because the essence of Apocalyptica and the main reason why we still exist is that we are searching all the time something new ways to do music, not to stay in our comfort zone, you know, not to do only what we know already, always finding out how to do this, and should we try that, and that's why there is no formula for basically anything. So it's that kind of keeps the creativity alive and keeps the making new music exciting for us.
That's cool. And you are 3 cello players in the band. How do you divide the parts between each other? You know, I'm now playing the lead and you playing the rhythm. You know how? Yeah,
that has changed a lot since the beginning. Because in the very beginning, I was sharing the parts very equally. That everybody had to kind of all the time a variety of different styles of playing, like playing solos and leads, or playing drums, drum parts and stuff. But over the time, with Perttu and Paavo, we kind of have found that, okay, which are our personal strengths, and we started to embrace that. So the basic rule is that Perttu is our soloist, because that's his territory completely. I'm kind of the riff, the chameleon, but the riffs, because I enjoy playing riffs, you know, and
the James Hetfield.
Yeah, I'm the James Hetfield of the band in that sense, because it's I feel the passion of kind of playing things that somebody else would find boring, you know. I'm excited to try to play really in good time and stuff, and Paavo takes part of the bass parts and that kind of stuff. So we've been kind of also defining how our kind of sound chain to kind of work for those different purposes. So we have a little bit different setup, all of us. So that's we just found out that we get the best out of ourselves, that we actually kind of share the parts, so that okay, everybody has this own territory with where they are the strongest. Of course, we changed that, you know, not to be not to get bored or something like that, but it's just obvious, you know, that
Perfect. I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with the cello itself, but how often do you change strings, and how long does the bow last? You know.
The strings, I like to change my strings on tour almost once a week. Because I don't cut so much strings nowadays. I don't know why, but in the past they got broken so much in the shows, so that was kind of the natural change was there. But I like to change. I think my strings start to get worn out in a week, which is very unusual, because classical cellists, they don't change strings in a year. But it's so much sweat and it's so much dirt, and also the resin what we use, it's a very sticky one. It kind of just blocks the strings. But sometimes they break on show. When we just
And the bows, you know.
The bows itself, you know, the hair, the horse hair, that we change regularly. Regularly, and I like on this kind of tour for 3 weeks. I play out 3 bows.
Okay.
They're just so
And what about the sound, you know, live sound? Are you using microphones on the shows? I think I seen you a few years back. I seen camper profile amplifiers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we actually changed from campers. You know, we used to have amps, like real amps, and then it just became complicated that we couldn't have the sound if we, for example, came to the Czech Republic, you know, to play one festival. And we were used to using Black Star amps, but they were not a common brand. So we got whatever amps, which means that the sound was whatever. And then we had to find a solution for that. Then we went into those camper profilers. So we were able to carry the things, and that was kind of pretty good. But now, a year ago, we changed into this. It's a company. It's a system called Neural DSP.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Finnish company.
I'm using it.
And that's just the quality of that. It's like it's incredible. So and super reliable and very easy to operate and everything. So we've been using those now for live.
Yes. You're talking about Quad Cortex?
Quad Cortex, yes. Quad Cortex, yeah. And it's amazing. We did we modeled all the amps what we use in studio normally. We have very good ones. We don't know them, but you know, we always borrow that. We have very specific amps like 5150 PVs and some other amps, also the clean channel of the Black Star amps. So we modeled those and we made AB, you know, comparison in the studio, and it was impossible to say any difference. So that has actually improved our sound very much.
That's cool.
And so it's that's how we operate, but still we don't use those in studio. Still, I don't know why, but then in studio the real amps versus you need to have the real shit.
Yes.
And I'm that way old school that I like things that, you know, they're simple.
Yes.
There's a couple of buttons you just, you know, tweet, then you figure out it's either good or not.
It's
you know,
easier, yes.
And then sometimes you have these computer-based things that you have billion options, but not a single really good sound.
Yes.
So
exactly.
So.
What's your opinion about the music industry right now in general? You know, it's changed through the times. It's more online, everything. You know, the streaming services.
I don't know really what to mean. What is an opinion about and what exactly? But I guess I know what you mean. It's like
if it's easier for you right now, or it was a few years back, you know.
Yeah, it's a complicated structure, and then people, if I say that it's great, you know, then people who are struggling to get started, they're like, oh well, it's easy for you to say, so because you already have the audience. But I see that in the modern way there are much more positive things than negative things, because we have great access to reach our fans. Of course, it's super difficult because the stream of information is overwhelming all the time, so it's very hard to reach the people, or even you reach them, but people don't even understand what they see on their phones because they scroll so fucking fast. But one great positive thing for bands like us, like an old band, is like the full catalog is available. In the old world, it's like, for example, we play a show here and there are new people that they see Apocalyptica first time, and then they are, oh yeah, I want to find more of Apocalyptica music. They go to the local record store and they might have some of the old albums or not, you know, and instead of that, they can go home, they can open the streaming service and they can listen whatever. So it's great. Positive thing is that the old material is available. And then what I could say about new artists trying to break through, people think that it's so difficult to get streams in Spotify. But we have to remember one thing: in the old record company times, most of the people who are putting now music out in Spotify, when they send their demos to record companies, nobody never listened even to them. So it creates also an illusion that now to reach a great fan base, it's available for everybody. It never was, you know. It never was. There were so many gatekeepers in the old school world. First of all, at the record companies, who they will sign, and after that, you know, in the media, that who they will write about, radios, who they will play, you know, all that kind of gatekeepers, chains, they don't exist anymore.
Yes.
So it's a great possibility, and the challenge, of course, is to find ways that it takes almost time and energy to figure out things and to grow the fan base from zero. And people probably sometimes expect, people who complain most about the new world is they expect things to happen overnight, like this kind of TikTok miracle. But it has never been like that. It's an illusion that things could work like that and you could create a fan base overnight. It has never existed, that kind of world. It's an illusion of modern world. So I think it's great that we have the access to the fan base, the fans have access to all content we have ever created, and so on. I think there are a lot of positive things in there.
That's a really cool point of view, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like people many times when they complain about how difficult it is, they don't actually think about it, how difficult it was. It was nearly impossible. I've been in the record company offices of A&Rs and there's been piles of C cassettes and they like they have never time. They get 50 cassettes a day and what should they do with that? Just throw it away. So it wasn't easy.
Yes. Do you have a Spotify or where do you listen to music?
I listen to Spotify.
On Spotify, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the last thing or band or song you listen to?
I think it was some Gojira actually.
Gojira, okay.
Yeah, yesterday when I was walking from the bus to the
So you listen to a lot of metal, yeah?
I listen a lot of metal. Then I listen to a lot of meditation music. Because I like the stuff. They do meditation and stuff. So and then one of my biggest favorites for a long time has been Röyksopp, Norwegian electro.
Okay.
Electronic music. It's actually something that I probably listen the most at the moment. But then it's all kind of stuff. And I love my Spotify in my pocket. That I don't need to think. Going on tour, I don't need to pack my kind of decide which CDs I will take with me. Yeah,
this is much easier these days.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then all the time my CD player is running out of battery and all the kind of shit, so that I have an access to explore. So I think it's great.
Perfect. Do you have something essential before you go on tour? You need to have it with you, something really you can't leave home without it.
No, not really. I always carry so little things with me in my daily life as well. So
that's cool.
I've been living a couple of years this kind of nomad life, living in my boat and living in small apartments and stuff. So I've been like carrying a few. Everything I have, it's packed in a few suitcases, and then I take one with me on tour.
That's cool.
But it's just just basic things. Easy living,
That's
keep
cool.
it simple.
That's cool. Yeah. How do you spend your time on tour? It could be sometimes boring, a lot of waiting. So how do you spend your time?
I don't find I don't get bored anymore at all in any circumstances, because. Now on this tour it's been a lot to do because we're preparing for the studio, so it's a lot of that kind of work, and of course there's always a lot of other kind of work related to maintaining the whole company and all kind of plans, future plans and stuff, and I just started something. I'm a life coach as well, so I like to constantly also listen audiobooks and about philosophy and neuroscience and all that kind of stuff. I like to educate myself. So that's actually the reason why I never get bored, because there's always something to learn.
Perfect.
And if I get a quiet moment, I'm actually happy to pull up a little meditation, that's or cool. Do a little bit stretching or something. It's like being. I think when you learn to be with yourself. You never get bored, because you enjoy your own company, so it's not depending on what's happening around you. You can actually enjoy your being wherever you are. So that's kind of for me. That's been the key. I've had my times, when I was really frustrated and bored, and I was drinking too much after shows, and was hangover during the days, and just trying to survive through to the and get in the be in the best for the show. So I live that time, and but I prefer this new one.
That's perfect. Good for you. Yeah, perfect. Through the years, you collaborated with so many singers. Do you have someone you would like to collaborate in the future?
Oh yes, they are all the time, and there's so many great people and to work with. And now we are working on this new single for now, and but we don't have anymore this kind of ultimate list. We used to make those lists when we were doing a lot of collaborations. And okay, who would be great, who we would love to do, but I just realized that there's so many cool people and so many interesting artists to collaborate, so I kind of skipped that list. Okay. I don't have that list, like that dream list, because I think that when things happen, then they just happen, and the right things come up, and that's how it's been, and I believe that's how it's gonna be.
Perfect. Which one of the collaborations you have made is your favorite?
I can't pick up the favorite because every collaboration has its own qualities, and every process was different. So that's why it's not possible to compare. But one of the pretty first one was with Nina Hagen. I think that was exciting because we spent a lot of time together. She came to Helsinki to shoot the video. We were 2 days in this kind of island where the video is shot, and we were hanging a lot. And then I did a promo tour in Germany with her, doing a lot of those Viva and MTV interviews, and that was interesting because she's different in a good way,
Good way.
and that was really, that always comes to my mind about very special collaborations. But of course, it's so many great cool collaborations, and they're in different way. Like for example, with the Joe from Gojira, I went to Paris. We met in Paris, and we went to studio and we wrote the song together. That was great. With Corey, of course, his performance, it's outstanding, and shooting the video was good fun. And with Adam Gontier, it's so many different aspects on every collaboration.
Of course. Yes. Do you still have any dream or something you want to achieve? Still in your life?
Oh, yes. I actually thought very long time that I don't have any dreams.
Yes.
I was so realistic. I was kind of a little bit cynical and stuff. And then when I started to open up a little bit to myself, and I realized that actually I have dreams. I have a lot of dreams, but they are not like that. That okay, they need to happen, or they are just more like directions to me.
Okay.
That okay. But like, because if you have a dream and you are obsessed with your dream, then you're just going there and you miss all the opportunities on the way, And the truth is that if you keep your eyes open, something much more exciting, or something that you couldn't do, because our dreams are just it's an extension of what we know. So I think it's more exciting to live in this place that you don't know.
Okay.
Whatever can happen. Because then whatever can happen.
Mysterious.
Yeah. So, but with the band, it's great with Apocalyptica that we are in this kind of great place at the moment, that we are more inspired and more motivated than probably ever before. More consistent on that. The level of excitement, and we have much more plans that we don't have time to make all those plans to happen, but it's like we are looking really far in the future, but still not sticking on things because something might happen on the way. So it's important. Having dreams is good, but it's important to focus on the process and what's actually going on now, because that will lead you somewhere, where you're supposed to go.
Exactly. Perfect. Yes. So Eicca, do you have something you would like to say to fans or something like that?
First of all, I'm so happy to be here in Czech Republic. Always warms my heart, and very happy to see our friends here tonight. And I want to thank you for your support and love, and always being here for us. That means that we are always here for you, people. Take care of yourselves, and see you.